Alright, so this is, I don't know how many attempts this is, but I've attempted this level for many times.
With me,
and
I bring death.
I have failed a lot. I guess using Ashbite is kind of a tricky hero to use, to be honest with you. But yeah, we are playing Dusk Chateau on Veteran with Ashbite, by the way. So this should be interesting here. Now, just to give you a background, Ashbite, you know, he's considered to be the worst dragon in the series. He's considered to be like the worst dragon in the entire series. But a lot of people mistake that to be, well, if he's the worst dragon in the series, that must mean that he's really bad, that he's a bad hero. No, he's not a bad hero. He's a decent hero. I don't want to say that he's a good hero, because to be honest, I don't think he's a good hero, but he's still decent. He still gets the job done. Don't underestimate Ashbite. Now, this level is really difficult, okay? I was actually going to do a battle mech start in the beginning. I was gonna try and do a battle mecha start. I just couldn't do that. For me to do that, I have to actually play seriously. I can't really just record and do this. So, starting off here, we're gonna get the first full moon. We have an abomination and a whole bunch of zombies coming in. So, we gotta be careful here. We're gonna look crazy at to the left here. We gotta make sure that we're doing this correctly. We have to make sure that we're doing this correctly here. We have two abominations coming. We have a few zombies, which we should be able to deal with them. See, the cool thing about Ashbite is that he can do area damage, so that is going to help. Even though he may not be a great hero, he's still going to help. So that is great. Obviously, you know, if I was using literally any other hero, just like, you know, for example, like Ulrich, I would have done a way better job, but, you know, Ashbite he's definitely a tricky hero to use, alright? So don't underestimate that. He's a really tricky hero to use, to be honest. Latricia just died, but that's fine. So we're doing Dusk Chateau on Veteran with Ashbite. Unfortunately, not no lives lost though. We do eventually lose a life, unfortunately, so it saddens me to say this, but yeah, we do lose a life eventually. Luckily, it's just one though. We do get 3 stars, so that is the main goal. We got 3 abominations. Now, this is a very tough wave in the early game, actually. If you don't know what you're doing, you are gonna struggle in this wave. This is a very struggling wave here. We just gotta make sure that we're playing our reinforcements correctly. Now Ashbite, luckily, he can actually help with those Phantom Warriors because he can do magic damage, or true damage. I think he can deal true damage, not magic damage, so he will help with them. Seems like I'm not really using Ashbite to do that. I'm just using Ashbite against the abominations. So eventually, we're gonna have to Rain of Fire, and I do Rain of Fire. So I have had to deal with a bunch of problems on this level, like for example, getting wrong Rain of Fires. Like the Rain of Fires have been very off. They have not been great for the last couple times that I attempted this level. This level is tough. And especially if you're using a hero like Ashbite, you really gotta make sure that you're doing this correctly. It's not easy at all. You gotta make sure you're using your reinforcements to the best way that you possibly could, and you gotta make sure that you're using Rain of Fires to the perfect way that you could as well. Now here we go. We have the first set of werewolves and lycans. I say and a lycan. There will be multiple lycans coming in. Now we do have to worry about a couple ghouls on the right here, which, I mean, they shouldn't be that much of a problem. We did Rain of Fire the werewolves, but we still have to deal with a couple lycans that are coming in. Now, you do see that I am upgrading that artillery right there. That artillery is going to be at warp very, very soon. So do keep that in mind. these skeletons are really helping here. See, this was probably the biggest game changer. It's just getting a necromancer start. I feel like having 2 necromancers on each side with a crossbow fort, that is probably like the perfect start. Like I said, I tried to do a battle mecha start. It didn't go well. I mean, it probably can work. Like, I'm not saying it can. It probably can work. In fact, there are people that can make it work. But it just needs so much micro to get it work. And I don't really know if I have what it takes to do that right now. So I just did the easy option. I went with 2 necromancers and a crossbow fort. I gotta say, it was a massive improvement. It was a massive improvement from last time. So you do get a dwarf pile. We do have to deal with a bunch of zombies. Luckily, Ashbite can deal area damage to them. So, that's good news. Ashbite can deal area damage. He has a ton of damage options that he can deal against them. And he can also slow them down as well. With the smoke cloud. There are a couple of vampiresses that are, you know, they're posing a little bit of a threat, but we have Lucrezia to deal with them. Lucrezia can insta-kill vampiresses, in case you're not aware. Which you probably should be aware by now. Now, as you can see, the amount of area damage that Ashbite is doing against these zombies is really helping here. Really helping. We gotta make sure Lucrezia can insta-kill as many vampiresses as possible. We gotta need Ashbite to be able to deal with them. Now, this is currently wave 6. Like I said, we do eventually lose a life. Now, it's not gonna be on this wave, but I will pinpoint when we end up losing a life, because the way that I lost the life was very stupid, to be honest with you. Like, it was really stupid. It was just very bad timing. It was me not being patient. Like, I feel like if I could have played things way better, I would have not had to lose that life. But, you know, things happen. Things happen, and sometimes you make mistakes. So we do get a second mage tower over there, which we will help. And Ashbite is over there as well. He can deal magic damage, or true damage rather. I always say he can deal magic damage. In reality, I think he just deals true damage, like pure true damage. So we do look to upgrade that mage tower over there. Lucrezia on the other side, because that helps. And there are a couple more lichens coming in. There are more ghouls though. I'm actually more afraid of the ghouls rather than the lichens when I was playing this, so... But they do die pretty easily. Now the lichens... I mean, they're pretty much Rain of Fire fodder. Like, if you have a Rain of Fire to deal with them, you literally don't have to worry about them. It's fine. You'll deal with them. Now, I think the biggest problem here, actually, are the abominations. We got 5 abominations coming in here. Now, that is a crap ton of health right there. That is a shit ton of health. So if we can't deal enough damage to them, they will sneak through. They will sneak through. I think this was the wave that actually gave me a very hard time. Well, we gotta make sure we're doing this correctly here. So, we gotta make sure that we micro Lucrezia whenever an abomination dies. Because if an abomination dies, Lucrezia herself is going to die. Because of the explosion damage. So we gotta make sure that we're microing her. So when an abomination dies, we take her out of melee combat, and then we put her back in. And Ashbite is doing damage as well, so... You know, things are looking okay right now. Now, wave 8. This is the wave that we lose a life in. Very stupidly as well. Like, we stupidly lose a life here. You know, I'm honestly kind of mad at myself for losing it, but... Like I said, things happen, so you're going to notice it. We're gonna get very overrun by a whole bunch of vampiresses here. So, watch what happens. So, I end up doing that. Okay, hold on. I actually don't use the Rain of Fire right now. Just wait. The reason why I lost a life was because of a stupid Rain of Fire play. So look, Vampiressa is about to insta-kill. I used the Rain of Fire by mistake. I shouldn't have done that. Like, I should have waited to use that Rain of Fire. That was very stupid on my part. That was very stupid. Shouldn't have done that at all.
Freedom!
And it's interesting because I keep placing so many reinforcements. And it just doesn't matter. These Vampiresses are healing like crazy. Now, we do miss our Rain of Fire. It was a horrible Rain of Fire. And now we have to pay for it. We have to pay for it by losing a life, unfortunately. You know, it's not what I would have liked, but things happen. Things just happen. So we actually end up losing a life on the left side, believe it or not. Not on the not on the right side. As you can see, a Vampiress is about to sneak through, and we do lose one. It was such a dumb mistake, but hey, at the very least, we don't lose more than that. So, you know, we're still at 19. So, you know, we don't have to worry about it too much here. Now, we do get a second one. So that will help a lot. That will help a lot. The AoE that we can do right now is pretty much off the chart right now. We don't have to worry about AoE anymore. We have 2 dwarves and we have Ashbite if we really need more AoE, which it should help. But as you can see, this is a very swarmy wave. This wave is extremely swarmy, so having 2 dwarves is going to be extremely helpful here. And Ashbite, this is where Ashbite can actually shine over here. This is where Ashbite can actually truly shine. Now there's a little bit of lag, but we eventually do deal with it. I mean, yeah, just don't mind it. We do have Lucrezia waiting over there. As you can see, that upgrade on the Blast Furnace is really doing a whole lot here. Like, it's probably one of the best upgrades in the entire series. It really is. It's that good of an upgrade. Now, to be fair, there is something that we could talk about here. Let's talk about Ashbite for a second. So, people consider Ashbite to be the worst dragon in the series. But, you know, there are people that do see him as the worst dragon in the series, and he is the worst dragon. But there are people that mistake the fact that, oh, well, if Ashbite is the worst dragon, that means he's the worst hero. Or that means he's a bad hero. Not at all. Far from it. Far, far from it. He's a decent hero. He's a pretty good hero. He's not that good though. Like if you try and compare him to like Ulrich or Bruxa, like nah. Ashbite does not stand a chance at all. So that's definitely one thing to consider about Ashbite. He's a decent hero and he can do the job, but is he the greatest? Not really. He's not really the greatest. Now here's a very weird interaction. The Phantom Warrior's Death Aura can actually damage Ashbite, which is kind of weird. You would think it wouldn't be able to because Ashbite is flying. I don't know, I feel like if I would have designed the game, I probably would have not let that happen. I probably would have let Ashbite be immune to the Death Aura that the Phantom Warriors have, but no. Ashbite can still be damaged by them. Again, I don't really know how to feel about that, but that is a reality over here. So keep in mind, I mean, we're still in the mid game here. We haven't really moved to the late game yet, so... Or we're just about to. Now, we gotta look into what we're gonna build next. So eventually I do build Axe Throwers. I do remember that. And I gotta get the damage boost, which is a very, very powerful upgrade. I mean, I don't know, a lot of people don't like to use Axe Throwers, but personally, I love using them. Like, I used to be the same. I used to think that this tower was not that great. But in reality, if you know how to use the damage boost, it can become a very good tower. It really can. So if you haven't used it, really, I do recommend that you use it. It's a pretty good tower. I do recommend it. Ashbite's going to continue to do damage. True damage. He's going to continue to do true damage to these guys. Which is helping. And he's going to slow them down as well. And Ashbite does have an occasional insta-kill that he can do. It's not a guaranteed insta-kill. It can sometimes be an insta-kill, but it definitely can help. So I do Rain of Fire over there, which is kind of a questionable Rain of Fire now that I'm looking at it, but to be fair, it does get the job done a little bit, so hey, you can call it questionable all you want, but if it gets the job done, it gets the job done. There you go. Now we're gonna get a bomb tower over there, an artillery over there, but that's gonna be a battle mecha. I was planning to get a battle mecha over there, because that's actually a pretty good spot for a battle mecha. Because we basically have a massive, we do have a massive choke point over in this area. So having a choke point right in that area is a really good spot for having a battle mecha over there. That can definitely help. But as you can see, we have so many abominations piling up on each other, which can be bad news. Okay, like the more that the abominations pile up, the worse it gets, because it basically means that there are so many times where these abominations are just gonna wipe out your whole entire army. Just because of the death damage. The death damage on the abominations is actually insane. Like, it's actually unfathomable. And look at that, Lucrezia died. And Ashbite could have died as well. But luckily we prevent that to happen. We prevent that from happening. And we do get a battle mecha, finally. So that should help a lot here. We do have a bunch of werewolves now. Now this is probably going to be the point where we're going to use Rain of Fires. And as you can see, the full moon is about to rise, and it's about to rise right now. So this can be a problem, especially with having so many werewolves. There are lichens coming in as well, so gotta keep that in mind. We will Rain of Fire. We gotta make sure that these guys don't get through at all. Gotta make sure that they don't. Now I could have been a little bit too early on that, and I could have done it a little bit later, but it's fine. We will get the leaking lubricants over here, or the oil, for the battle mecha, which I actually consider to be the better ability than the wasp missiles. Back then I used to think wasp missiles were better, but now I think it's lubricant. I think it's the oil, the lubricant oil. That's actually a much better ability than the wasp missiles. This video is really long, you know. I never usually make a long video, but you know, when it comes to this case, this video is super long, dude. Like we still have 8 minutes to this. We still have to fight Facile. We still have to fight. I don't know, how do people pronounce his name? Some people call him Vasile. I call him Facile personally. We still have to fight that guy. There are so many terrible waves as well that we have to get through. So as you can see, Furnace Blast is doing numbers on these guys. It's such a good ability. It is such a powerful ability. Ashbite is doing his work again. He's doing area damage. Lubricant. Although I do recommend that you get the oil lubricant. I do recommend getting it over the wasp missiles. That doesn't mean that you should ignore wasp missiles. Wasp missiles is a very good ability. It's probably the second best ability. So don't forget about the wasp missiles completely, okay? You gotta get that as well. So there you go. I do get it. There are gonna be even more lichens that are gonna be coming in. And we get a bunch of bats as well. So I think I do get another archer tower. This one's going to be another crossbow fort as well. We just got to make sure that we do that. There are going to be a bunch of lichens coming in. Now we do have to Rain of Fire this one. There's no way I'm letting that one go. Yeah. That is a bunch of enemies. We have to Rain of Fire that. And we do get a crossbow fort. So yeah, we do upgrade them to assassins. We got a bunch of ghosts as well. Ashbite, like I said, Ashbite can deal with them, so that's good news. That's very good news. That is really, really, really good news. And now we're gonna be moving on to the last wave of this level. Now this one is very interesting because I actually think this is probably the easiest wave. This is probably the easiest wave of the entire level. Because it really depends on how good you use your Rain of Fire. If you use your Rain of Fire perfectly, then yeah, you can basically make this wave probably the easiest wave ever. Ever. And in this case, we do use Rain of Fire perfectly. Almost perfectly. Now Lucrezia does end up dying on me, but that's fine. So we'll get some assassin damage over there, which can transfer into insta-kills if we're lucky. I don't really like to rely on that though. So Lucrezia's back. We may move her to the abominations. I don't exactly remember what we do here. Okay, so there are a bunch of ghouls coming in as well. Realistically, we should be fine. I mean, we basically have everything we can do. Now we get a bunch of Silas Nicolai's, which actually can help against the vampiresses, if I remember correctly. It can probably help. I think Ashbite is gonna die here because I didn't micro him. Yeah, too bad. Now, this is the wave, this is the point of the wave. This is probably my favorite point of the entire wave. This is where we have a whole bunch of Lycans coming in. A whole bunch of Lycans coming in. Like, this is probably the easiest part of this wave right here. You know, it might look scary. And, yeah, it does look very scary, but to be honest with you, if you use your Rain of Fire perfectly, it becomes the easiest thing ever. So, we're gonna Rain of Fire right now. Ashbite is back. Still have to deal with those Lycans on the right, so don't forget about those. Right, Lucrezia's over there, she's fighting them. You have to get a bunch of assassin damage over there. Might have to upgrade the Furnace Blast. We have to move Ashbite. Gotta move Ashbite. He needs to help out a little bit. Come on, Ashbite. The crossbow forward is really saving it. Now here comes Vassile. Here he comes. So this guy is actually pretty easy, to be honest with you. I mean, I think the reason why he's so easy is because when you kill him, pretty much all the enemies on the screen are gonna die as well. So, and realistically, he is not that hard to kill at all. Like, he's honestly kind of easy to kill. So if you kill him, you pretty much win. You pretty much win. And that's basically the main goal. So the goal is basically to forget about every single enemy. We don't care about any other enemies other than Vassile himself. That's basically the only guy that we care about. Now we're gonna move Ashbite to him. Hopefully deal consistent damage. I don't know why I'm not using the Rain of Fire yet. I don't remember when I end up using the Rain of Fire. I should be using it very soon. I don't know why I'm not using it. We do upgrade the assassins a little bit. Gotta get a max Furnace Blast here as well. So that will help. Alright, we do use the Rain of Fire right now. Right on Vassile. We should deal a crap ton of damage to him right now. I mean, this is pretty much the death zone. Like, I don't think he can get past this area. There's just no way he can get past it. We have a bunch of battle mechas. We have not a bunch of battle mechas. We have a battle mecha. We have a bunch of skeletons. They have to get through the dwarf first. Like, there's just a massive choke there. And we have Ashbite. I mean, you know, he may not be doing that much, but you gotta credit him at the very least. Alright, so there goes Vassile. Vassile just went, and he's gonna be coming back stronger than ever before. Or is he? This is probably the easier phase, to be honest. This phase is probably easier than the first, because he is isolated. He's completely isolated, so... Which basically means that he can take so much damage and it wouldn't even matter. So basically, we just have to take him down here. And he's gonna be very easy to kill. So there we go. We just put everything at him. Put the Rain of Fire, put Ashbite, make sure that he ends up dying, and he will die. And there you go. That's how you beat the level with Ashbite. So if you enjoyed the video, do like and subscribe. We're trying to hit 4,000. And yeah, there you go. That's how you do it.